Morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here today. Ralph, thanks for the invitation. So yes, my name is Richard Van Nairn. I'm the sales director of Innosonix, and today I want to talk to you about digital multi-channel amplifiers in immersive applications, the challenges conventional amplification can face, and how we've got past those challenges. But first, let's talk a little bit about Innosonix, a brief overview. So who are Innosonix? A very good question. So just east of Frankfurt in Upper Franconia, there's a beautiful little village called Horn, and there you'll find Team Innosonix. So we've grown slightly since this photograph was taken. We're now a team of 13, so 12 Germans and 1 English guy, and we all share the common goal of delivering to market the most innovative amplification possible. So we started in 2009 as a tech house. In 2016, the Fraunhofer Institute reached out with a very exciting opportunity to deliver to them a 12-volt 32-channel amplifier. We did that, and the technology we developed then became the foundations of what we use this day, and in 2019, we started that journey. So today, we do everything in-house. We try and do as much as we can in-house. Hardware, software, completely us to try and rely on as little third-party involvement as humanly possible so we can provide our customers with exceptional customer support. So that's the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get on to the main topic at hand, the challenges conventional amplification faces in immersive applications. So whether you're an opera house, a theatre, a museum, an art exhibition, all of them are competing in a market for new audiences and increased spending. At the same time, the public's expectations of what denotes a high-quality audio experience is continuing to rise. So that may be why we've seen the adoption of these venues looking to immersive audio systems. Now, that can take the form of historic venues trying to improve the acoustics, or it could take the form of a brand new immersive experience to provide the listener with much needed form of escapism in the world that we are in. In the last 5 years, we've seen advances in the technology and performance of immersive systems, but we feel that one key point has been overlooked, and that's how these systems are amplified. Okay? Now, whether that's a turnkey solution from a loudspeaker manufacturer, or whether that's a bespoke system from somebody in this room designing an immersive system, if it employs a conventional amplifier solution, we believe it's going to fall prey to the following pain points, which are space, efficiency, and cost. So space. Obviously, if it's using conventional amplifiers, they're using conventional channel counts, so 4 and 8 channels. And there's nothing inherently wrong with this approach. But let's just think about a real-world scenario. If you're deploying 200 6-inch loudspeakers, that's approximately going to take up 25 U of rack space, which is 60 centimeters in width and 1 meter in height. And that's just amplification alone. That doesn't take into consideration all of the other technology that you need to deploy a successful immersive system, okay? With all the amplifiers, we know that they're never going to be turned off, right? Once they're installed, they're on for life, okay? Which is going to pull a great deal of energy. Up until this point, conventional amplification has only started looking at efficiency as an important topic. The ideal performance of conventional amplifiers leaves a lot to be desired. And that comes on to the third point, cost. Okay, whether that's upfront cost, the infrastructure, or the cost needed to support the amplifiers, that can build up over time, and that's an important factor that needs to be considered. So what we wanted to do was to develop a solution that tackled all 3 of these pain points. So how did we do that? Well, at the very beginning of our company, Marcus and Stefan went out and looked at technology and component technology in the consumer space, okay, for an alternative to traditional silicon MOSFETs. Gallium nitride was used for high efficiency, high power applications. Unlike traditional silicon MOSFETs, gallium nitride transistors have faster, cleaner switching and reduced dead time. So what does that translate to? Well, it translates to higher signal to noise ratio, lower THD plus N, and reduced transient intermodulation distortion, okay, which is a cleaner, more transparent audio experience, very, very efficient, very quick. But it's not just the sonic properties, okay? The thermal properties are also really, really impressive. They've allowed us to create thinner heat sinks, even fanless designs, which has resulted in smaller amplifier modules and smaller power supplies, which has therefore resulted in us being able to squeeze more amplifier channels into a conventional footprint. So what is the result? Well, the result is the Max series. The Max series is our flagship multi-channel amplifiers and probably the most attractive amplification solution in terms of an immersive sound system. So LP squared stands for low powered. It's our 1U offering, so 16, 24, 32 channels in a 1U. It's 50 watts at 4 ohm, 30 watts at 8, and you can bridge 2 channels for 100 watts at 8 ohm. FPGA-based DSP, extensive, and it takes input via Dante AS67 and MADI. We are still the only amplifier manufacturer to offer a 24 and 32 channel amplifier in a 1U, I'm very proud to say. And then it resulted in the D squared, so a 2U offering. Very similar to the LP squared, it's just more power. D for drive. So 280 watts at 4 ohm, 140 watts at 8 ohm, and you can bridge 2 channels for 500 watts. Again, FPGA-based DSP, input via Dante AS67 and MADI. Now, this isn't that attractive for an immersive application, but obviously we want to look at lower channel counts because not every situation needs lots of amplifier channels. So Micro Max series was what we developed, and it consists of the MA04M, the MA04PoE, and brand new to the show yesterday, the MA01 PoE. We're a bit short on time, and because it doesn't really relate to immersive, I'm not really going to go on to much more detail about this, but just know that the PoE, the MA04 PoE, provides 120 watts a channel at 4 and 8 ohm, which is a PoE++ performance. I know that sounds far-fetched, so I do urge you to come to our stand, which I think is N745 AC Americas. Do come over and say hello and picture it in person. But we were able to achieve this, again, with gallium nitride. Okay, so 3/4 of the device is built up of capacitors, which basically stores energy and then provides you the energy you need when you need it. So what are the benefits of Innosonix and immersive applications? Well, obviously, we ticked all the boxes in terms of the pain points that we mentioned there. So smaller footprint, okay? On your left is the pass. I suppose the pass, it's a conventional approach, so 32 channels, so external processing and 4-channel solution. On your right is the Innosonix solution. So you can power 100 CX41s with a lot less footprint than conventionally before, okay? And obviously, the device does the job of lots of other devices, so it's going to be more efficient. We designed it with efficiency in mind, again, using gallium nitride. So the standard ideal power of our amplifiers is 125 watts a day, and if you compare that to a 4-channel conventional solution, which is 200 watts a day, it starts building up quite heavily. And obviously, making it more efficient and taking up less space, we improve costs, don't we? So we improve the cost and the return on investment to the end customer, which is the most important thing. We're making an immersive system a little bit more palatable from a cost perspective, which is, however you want to look at it, a bit of a stumbling block when it comes to immersive deployments and getting those across the line. So an Innosonix solution consists of software and hardware working in unison. For an immersive application, we don't obviously use our software for that. We use our friends, or we use immersive rendering engines, but it happens to be our friends from Amadeus Acoustics quite recently. We've done some really great stuff with them. But obviously, we do offer IDFM, which is a firmware management system, and Max Remote, which is a jewel in the crown for us. It's a way of us managing hundreds, if not thousands, of amplifier outputs, okay? It allows us to create groups. So you can create a group from any device, so you can drag and drop any channel from any device into a group. What's in the group? You want to route audio to that, and you can create an input source from the Dante network and route route audio to hundreds of loudspeakers in 6 clicks. And once you have the channel sorted, you're going to want to use an extensive DSP to process it. And we obviously have Acoustics and Crestron plugins as well available for that. So in conclusion, we're taking up less space, more efficient, and we're reducing costs. And because of that, we're involved in some incredibly exciting immersive projects all over the world. Some of them are the Theatre de Ven in Vienna, a stunning theatre. If you're in Vienna and you have the opportunity, go to it. You have to, okay? The Croatian National Theatre in Zagreb, they've got a multi-purpose space. So we were talking just before about making spaces multi-purpose. Okay, that's exactly what they did in Zagreb. And they've used our amplifiers to do that. And leaving the best to last, the Renkus-Heinz Immersive Experience Centre in Bangkok. Very proud about that. If you're in Bangkok, you should go to Bangkok. It's a fantastic city anyway, but you should definitely check that out as well. So that's about it. I want to thank everybody for their time this morning. Got any questions? Drop me an email.